Good morning, are you ready for another action-packed day here at Government Sucks? We have several more ridiculous investments to unload on some of our wealthiest clients. So be ready to put on a big smile and try not to break out laughing after you close the deal.
You bet. This new 3x Ultra Short Fund is a win-win deal for us. By the time the client figures out that the fund is correlated to our long positions, they will be nearly wiped out. How we keep getting away with this just blows my mind. After the last financial meltdown, I thought it would be light years before we would be up and running and back to our old tricks of playing both sides of every investment or trade that we touch.
I told you not to worry. All the SEC wants is their cut. So they fine us some obscene amount, slap us on the wrist, and then go on their merry way without even having us admit to any guilt. With all the billions we have, we do not even feel it. Besides, without the revenue stream we banksters provide, the SEC would not even exist.
That is a pretty sweet deal we have. Any way you look at it, we cannot lose. We get to pick up the pieces of the clients we help to destroy. And for next to nothing on the dollar. And we usually have first shot at it thanks to the connections we have to the Fed and all those crooked political thugs that at one time or another have worked here.
Of course, how else could Hank Halson pull off the crime of the century? That was one Oscar-winning performance he put on for Congress, if I say so myself.
Oscar-winning con artist is more like it. He used the technicals of the charts that he knew were in a major correction mode to scare the living daylights out of them. If those fools only knew how to read a chart, they would have realized that the stock market was about to fall with or without that $700 billion they turned over to him.
And fall it did. Right to the bottom of the chart, as the technicals had predicted, where they bought the market with the cash old Henry borrowed from taxpayers by way of the Fed's high-speed printing press. Hats off to Hank. I never thought he would get away with that one. He outdid himself.
Borrowed. More like stole from taxpayers by way of the Fed and his insane money-printing machine. Poor Hank Halson was worried to death that the firm would lose billions if AIG collapsed, given all the deals we had going with them. From what we heard, his personal fortune was also at stake if they went belly up.
Water under the bridge, and it is back to business as usual for the firm. This time we have the complete backing of Ben, and as far as the eye can see, as far as we are concerned, the Fed will need to do pomos until the end of time. Not to mention keeping interest rates at zero for as long as he can before the fixed incomers finally hang him from the tallest tree they can find.
3 cheers for quantitative easing. The only thing it eases is the speed to which we make billions of dollars in profits. If we cannot steal profits from our clients and other traders, then we will take what this market gives us. In this case, it is billions of dollars of taxpayer money.
What taxpayer money? Ben is printing this money out of thin air. Thank goodness for small things. We take his worthless paper and eventually convert it into tradable assets like equities or commodities, or worse comes to worse, higher yielding bonds, junk included.
Speaking about Ben, we have to make a call to the CBOE and limit the futures down on the open and make way for some of Ben's funny money coming in by 10:30 a.m. We will put the money to work on the cheap today and gap the futures up tomorrow, thereby front-running the orders to buy that we see piled up for the open from our buy-side clients.
Excellent agenda. Once again, we cannot lose being a Fed banker, market maker, trader, underwriter, and master of the financial and political universe.
By the way, please upgrade Citibank this morning. The Fed is outselling their shares all day and they need our backing. While you are at it, please tell the traders to buy our own shares right from the open. Make sure we add on some cheap put insurance for Citi while you are at it too. Citi may be living on borrowed time, so we can never have enough insurance.
Speaking about insurance, have you considered selling your husband's life insurance policy to the firm? There is nothing we won't buy or sell in the name of making a good dollar.
I will consider it the next time he starts in with me.
Do not wait too long, my dear. We do not know how long before this limited market blows itself apart too. We have packaged and sold some of those policies in a way that was similar to the toxic mortgage packaging mess. What the heck, it is only money. And not even our own money, come to think of it.
It never is. You must admit that life here at Government Sucks is pretty darn good. And the perks we get by way of inside information are priceless.
Now that is the truth. Time to add some positions onto our personal account. Ben says he never wants to see Dow 10,000 or 11,000 again for as long as he lives.
That may not be long if he keeps killing the dollar.
Look at it this way. We are the only reserve currency with its own reserve currency by way of Ben's printing press. Now that is something to think about before the day even begins.
Okay, all you banksters out there, now don't get mad, but that is just the way we see it. You guys make a Las Vegas casino look honest. Free markets does not mean free to run wild.